Good afternoon, distinguished guests, students, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Hong Kong Design Institute for the Master Lecture of Pluriversal Futures, Ars Electronica exhibition in collaboration with HKDI. We are your MCs for today. I'm Nicholas Chen from the Higher Diploma in Software Engineering. And this is Chloe Ng from the Higher Diploma in Fashion Design. We are students of HKDI.
The Hong Kong Design Institute presents the HKDI Gallery 2025 to 2026 flagship exhibitions, Pluriversal Futures, Ars Electronica exhibitions, in collaboration with HKDI.
The Prix Ars Electronica is the most important and is the longest running media arts prizes in the world. Ars Electronica and the Hong Kong Design Institute jointly organize a selection of Prix Ars Electronica artworks at the HKDI Gallery.
From November 2025 to April 2026, the exhibition, Pluriversal Futures, offers a glimpse into the multifaceted aspect of our increasingly complex world through the artist's unique perspectives on these myriad challenges. The featured artworks will provide profound insight into the contemporary world and its pressing issues.
Without further ado, may I invite Ms. Laura WELZENBACH, Head of Export and Co-curator, Ars Electronica, and introduce 5 participating artists, Ms. Frode OLDEREID.
Just wave. You can wave. Yeah. Thank you.
Mr. Thomas Kom, Mr. Gael Baetrand,
Mr. Gaetan LIBERTIAUX,
and LAU Wai, to share with us the experience of the exhibitions.
All right. Hello. Yes, this works. Amazing. Hello, everybody. My name is Laura. Thank you all for being here. It means really a lot that you came also to the master lecture. I also first have to apologize. I'm a bit jet-lagged, and today is really like the crazy day where I don't know where I am in a way. I will try my best to keep the narrative going, but please apologize if I sometimes get a bit lost. I will do my best to come back on track. Thank you also for being here, particularly in the face of like what the current tragedy in Hong Kong is. And I would actually like to open the lecture with a brief moment of silence to honor the people who are suffering a lot or had to go through a tough time. So a short moment of silence. Thank you. Okay, let's get started. So I would like to introduce you first a bit more about what Ars Electronica is and what we do, and especially what the Prix Ars Electronica is and does within our ecosystem. Who of you have heard, before you heard about this exhibition, who of you knew about Ars Electronica before? Give me a hand sign. Yeah. So it's really something very typical. Like Ars Electronica is doing something that is very popular now, and this is like exploring creative expressions through technologies and exploring media arts or art and technology to express different kinds of like matters and issues. And we do that for quite a long time. And that's like really the leverage that we have. Ars Electronica started in the late 70s. When you think about technology and digital technologies, this is like 4 years after Microsoft was founded. So we are as old as Microsoft, but we are much older than Facebook and Instagram, for example. So we are old. We have quite some knowledge about the developments, and we accompanied that kind of like process through the lens of art. And this is like that is our unique signature in that we have quite like some knowledge that we can access in that kind of like development. So we have been analyzing and commenting on digital revolution since 1979. We develop projects, strategies, and competencies for the digital transformation. Together with artists, scientists, technologists, designers, developers, entrepreneurs, and activists from all over the world, we address the central questions of our future. The focus on new technologies and how they change the way we live and work together. So this is also like something that is very special and very important for us from the beginning, is this interdisciplinary exchange. So we exit the art world only and enter the multidisciplinary from the very beginning. So that's why also our organization is built on 3 different pillars. That's art, technology, and society. So we are always thinking about the 3rd pillar, the society, and the impact that the technological development has on a society. That's also why we would say we see digitization not as a technological development, but as a social development. Whatever technology and the respective game changer was, is, or will be, it is up to us as a society to constantly demand, negotiate, and enforce new framework conditions and rules for this changing world. So it's inherent that things keep on transforming, right? We are not ever accessing a status quo that we are happy with. We are constantly in progress and need to adjust to these kinds of like changes that we are facing. This is like our overall development of Ars Electronica. So you can see our big starting point was the Ars Electronica Festival. And then almost 10 years later, the Prix Ars Electronica came. And from that, more and more different departments could grow, right? So I won't go too much into the newer departments. I want to tell you a bit more where our foundation is and how we were able to build up our ecosystem on that. So as mentioned, our big starting point was in the late 70s with the festival. And the legend says there were like 30 nerds, programmers, software developers, internet gurus meeting in tiny little Linz. It's a tiny town in Austria. And they just nerded out. They just experimented with different things. And they decided to meet regularly and try also to show these works to a public. So it started very, very small with only a few participants. And now, in 2025, actually, sorry for a typo, it's a 5-day-long festival. 10 festival and 8 festival featured venues. We reached more than 100,000 visits this year. We have 1,260 artists, researcher, activists from almost 70 countries involved in the program, more than 40 years later. So we grew a bit, as you can see. And the other aspect that followed almost 10 years after the festival started was the Prix Ars Electronica. It's the longest running media arts prize in the world at the moment. So we have to continue. That's what I'm saying. And by now we get about like 3,000 submissions from almost 100 countries every year. We have an international jury in the different categories that is like judging the work. So we can also really access a wide range of like knowledge. So it's important also that the jury comes from different parts of the world. And we have a total prize money amount for giving out the prize. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Of 51,000 euros that we can give out. The prize itself is accompanied with the possibility to be exhibited at the Ars Electronica Festival and be part of the conference program. So we have different categories, and they had to change throughout the time, right? We had to define and tweak the names of the categories throughout the previous years, because we had to respond also to what technology actually allows us to do. The longest running category that we have is new animation art. But before it was also called, for example, animation art, and now we decided on new animation. Digital music and sound art and interactive art plus. These are also the three categories that we will see in the exhibition right across the lecture hall. Additionally, we also have a particular prize, and I'm very, very excited about that actually, our U19 Create Your World prize. It's our youth category. So young people, younger than 19, have their own proper media arts prize. It's only addressing youth in Austria, just because of like feasibility, to be honest. But to have this acknowledgement to the very young already, to encourage them and be presented on the same stage as like the established artists is something very special, I find. Then we also have the category Digital Communities and Artificial Intelligence and Life Art. These open calls for these categories that we see here is launching every year in January. And from these applications, we also give out different kinds of awards in collaboration with different kinds of partners. So in 2025, for example, we had the category New Animation Art, Artificial Life and Intelligence, Digital Music and Sound Art, and the U19 Create Your World. And with these applications, we gave out additionally the Ars Electronica Award for Digital Humanity and the Isao Tomita Prize, as well as the Media Art Literacy Award. So why is this actually interesting? Because projects can be submitted that are not older than 2 years. So what it allows us to do, to also really look into kind of like trends, right? We can see what kind of like technology artists are interested in exploring. So it allows us to really get a bigger picture of themes and topics, but also like technological excitement in the art world. So it's really cool also to see what kind of like historical framework that Ars Electronica was like able to tap in, because we had like WikiLeaks getting an award for digital communities before it became the big leak that it is known for today. Also, like Tim Berners-Lee got an award for the hypertext, which is known as the internet now. So it's interesting to see what kind of like tendencies this prize was already like able to target. So now, for example, just to give you a bit more applied product, now, for example, the Kinect released in 2010 was already like creatively explored by artists in the 90s. So this work by Maran Kruger, the video plays, got an award in 1990. So 20 years before the actual technology that we now know as Kinect is a product on the market. Another trend that we can like that was also explored in the prize was the AR boom that was then happening in the early 2000s, which got an award from Jeffrey Shaw, won an award in 1994, And it's really amazing if you see that device, right? Like, you're running around with like this gigantic screen and like all these like DIY things that were attached to it. But artists really were excited about the idea to be able to extend the reality right in front of you with approaching or using the technology that was actually accessible to them. So this is how early AR looked like in the 90s. So this is a bit like the pre-Ars Electronica context and the history and the different kind of categories. We can definitely also talk more about that if you have questions later. We will also ask the artist on stage, and then we have a conversation and can explore these different pillars in more detail. So I wanted to show you the two main departments that we talked about today was the Ars Electronica Festival and the Prix Ars Electronica. But from that, also different things grew. The Ars Electronica Center, which is our year-round museum, that allows us to convey these topics with a yearly program. We also have the Ars Electronica Future Lab, who is particularly offering research projects, also with the industries. I mentioned Create Your World already. And later, the idea came up to also think about letting these projects travel the world through Ars Electronica Export. That's the department that I'm running now. We also have an archive. We have solutions, which is more connected to the business field. We have a pillar in Japan, and we have an own department dedicated to education. So just showing you all this to show that there is a bigger ecosystem behind it that nurtures each other, right? It's not only the festival that is like the main event that we have, or it's not only our international exhibitions, but it's this give and take between these like different elements of the ecosystem. So, this brings me actually now here to Hong Kong and to our exhibition that is right across the street. And I would now just tell you a bit about the curatorial concept that I had the great pleasure to develop with my colleague in Austria, Emiko Ogawa, who is the head of the Prix Ars Electronica, as well as Joel, one of the co-curators also for the exhibition. And I won't tell you too much about the artworks because they are right there. You should just check them out later. It's always like kind of like interesting when you talk about the artworks and they're like actually right next door where you can actually look at them. However, I would then ask the artist also on stage to talk about in general the practice and their approach about how to use or like how to work with technology also as an inspiration for engagement and interaction. So, pluriversal futures. It's also particularly hard to say that properly with a jet lag. Pluriversal futures. But I practice. We'll see how this goes. This was also the title of this year's Prix Ars Electronica exhibition. So this were the works of the winning the Ars Electronica winners was presented. And Emiko came up with this title, particularly looking into the fact that we are now approaching a tendency of several futures. So we don't talk about one future, we have several futures coming towards us. And this is not something that we need to be necessarily afraid of, right? Like this is what the exhibition also tries to convey, that we have, we can learn different tools to navigate the pluriversal, the multiple, and maybe even the unknown and the uncertainty that is ahead of us. It will become more and more the fact that we are not able to predict what will be next. But this is not something that we need to be afraid of. We can start learning, living with this, navigating with this, and thinking about different strategies, how we can feel more solid and confident when approaching the pluriversal. This is also what we want to introduce with the artworks that we selected. So giving kind of like a set of tools that allows us to explore things on a very intuitive level, but maybe also access elements that are more complex and therefore get these little bits and pieces of introducing complex matters and digest them slowly. Another aspect was also to show a diverse set of different media that artists work with. So starting from the possibility to literally talk to or with the exhibition and exploring language through recording and putting it into different pieces and rhythms. We also have like different game engines. We have the possibility to zoom in on a microscopic level with one of the artworks, but we also have the possibility to step out and let a robot tell their philosophical ideas about humanity and share it with us. What I'm also most excited about is the partnership that we have with HKDI and the Student Talent Award. Whoop, whoop. So, yeah, give it a big round of applause. So we have on the one hand these like artists that are established and have already like reached so many things, but to be able to also select an outstanding work that was developed in the recent months amongst the students is very special. We have another connection to Hong Kong through that, and particularly another connection to what kind of like creative exploration happens here in the Institute. So, Plant Blindness is a work that was developed by the artists and the students from HKDI, and I practice their names, and I want to say them. So be patient with me. I'm so sorry if I don't say them properly, but it was important to me because we couldn't get all the artists on stage, and that's why I want to give them particularly some visibility. So it's Pu Ying Chi. Yeah, give it up for Pu Ying Chi. Yes. Then it's Ki Men. Yeah, you are here? Yes. Perfect. Ki Men Ao. Ki Men Ao. Yes. Thanks for being here. I should have told you that I do this, right? This is very mean. I'm so sorry. Then we have Kai Zheng Wang. Kai Zheng Wang. Yes. Hello. Hello. And then Xi Xing Yu. Yes. Hello. Thank you for being here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, right? Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My jet lag brain needed the approval. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Good. So I'm very excited that you are here also. We have the chance to then go to the exhibition after the little artist talk that we will have now. I highly encourage you to also talk to the artists and get into conversation about the topics that they are presenting. So as mentioned, I will show you images of the work so you know what artist worked on what project. I will also briefly introduce the projects that are not here because the artist couldn't come to the opening. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. The first work that I wanted to introduce you is by Ioana Vrememosa. She won the Prix Ars Electronica 2025, the Award of Distinction in Digital Musics and Sound Art. The work is called Mineral Amnesia, and it is a work that can be explored on multiple layers. The first thing that you encounter when you see the sculpture and when you walk towards it is that you hear some weird noises and you're not sure, like, is it something that I should understand or not? And then you get closer and then you maybe hear words like growth, extraction. And then you see that these little chips, there are little chips underneath this like glasses. The glasses are lenses. And you can see, not chips, they are EEPROMs, early memory chips. That's what they do. They save information in early computing. But now they became obsolete. They are still fully functioning, but they are not used anymore because there is now faster technology. So the artist also explores what does memory mean, right? We develop these mediums that store memory, and then shortly after they become obsolete. They are also, the EEPROMs are also sensitive to light, and every time they are activated, light gets exposed to the EEPROM. That means it deletes itself through being activated. So it's a very poetic approach and a very critical reflection on technology and the development of technology and these elements becoming obsolete. And one more aspect that she brings in is the environmental aspect. That's why she recorded the sound that says like growth, and like how does growth exponentially align with the extraction of the planet that enables us to actually produce technology like that. Okay, I have to hurry up. Nozukai, Diane Keskuti, Golden Nica last year for Interactive Plus. Here we have a different kind of like interface that we can explore. Long story short, this is a video game, and the interface is a textile. Other than a controller or a keyboard, here we have the possibility to use keys on an actual textile to navigate the game. It's beautiful because it also allows us to extend the idea of like how does technology actually need to look like. It can be something light, like a textile, and it doesn't need to be like a laptop like this. Another video game is Third World Bottom Dimension by Gabriel Massin, who won the Award of Distinction last year. Another video game that allows us to explore some complex topics about the perception of the third world and what kind of like assumptions come along with it. So, these were the three artists that are not here in person, sorry. And now I would love to ask the artists on stage who are here. And I would like to start with LAU Wai. Give it up for LAU Wai. Please come on stage. Yes, you can sit down. The Cast of the Invisible is your work. You get a microphone right here.
Oh, thank you.
So, this is the film project in the exhibition, so you can then check it out fully in a little bit. Then I would ask Gaetan and Gael from Superbe on stage. Oh my gosh. From O, please join the stage. You will get a microphone. And then Thomas KVAM and Frode OLDEREID from Norway are also here with us. And their work is Requiem for an Exit, who won the Golden Nica, a new animation this year. Okay, hello and welcome.
Hello.
I will actually join you. Thank you so much for being here. How is your jet lag going? No, sorry. Maybe you would do a quick round and introduce the way how you started working with technology or how you started exploring technology. And maybe, Wei, you would like to start with that question.
Okay. Thanks, Laura. It's super fun to see your presentation. It's my first time seeing that. I really appreciate that. And it's really great. And thank you, everyone, for coming here. This is a nice crowd. I think to me, it was interesting that I think I didn't come from a technology background. I came from a photography. Mostly I'm using like analog photography in my early practice. And just in recent years, I started to explore new media tools. And the initial trigger was the fear and the questions that I have for technology, so that I wanted to like enter it in a way that as a consumer in the beginning, and then later on as a creator using those tools. But for me, technology is a form for me to solve like questions, technology itself, I think. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Gaetan, do you want to
for us, we used to be musician in a rock band for 10 years, and then we had the preoccupation to make the people feel the music as they are musician. It was the very first goal that oriented us to technology, because we had to make to put people in the position of musician, and create an environment that they are free to do music even if they don't even know about music. And that was it. That was the door we enter into the technology.
Thank you. Gael, would you like to add something to that?
Just that we don't use the technology to use it really, but more as a tools that like this people can feel something.
Cool. Thomas, Frode?
Yeah, we started for a long time ago, back in the 90s, actually, and tried to see how far we could take the technology back then on the technology side. And we met up from kind of different backgrounds and meeting up, but it was always this, how far can we take the technology back then? And is it possible? And yeah, we're gonna say some more about 90s, or yeah, or after we had been doing this robotics and struggling to find solutions, we take a little break for 20 years, and then we meet again and did this piece, which you can see over here, and we still want to discover the technology and how we can take it even further. So it was in some way much easier to do this piece, but in some way it's not. It's just you want to find where can we go on the technology. You probably have something more.
Yeah, I think in the 90s we started to make these robotic creatures, which were somehow remnants of things you could see in cinema or on a two-dimensional screen, and to make these robots pop out from that two-dimensionality and in a shared space with us as human beings, and through that is a vehicle of expression and critical engagement with us as humans, basically. And now we have this huge robot here, which is yet again sort of confronting the audience.
Definitely, you will be your own judge how confronting you feel like it is. Also, please think about questions. I do have some prepared, but if you have some, I would love to also give you the possibility to raise them here. Give me a sign, right? I'll pose my next question, and then you can bring in yours. I also wanted to ask you, Gael and Gaetan, how did the theme of like pluriversal or futures or pluriversal futures resonated with you?
I really like the word, because I just wonder, say, also we talk about a universe, but what is pluriverse? I don't know. But what is interesting for me in the subject is that we are everything and nothing at the same time, I think, and the approach we have with this piece here is about language, and language is something universal, but there is something very singular in the way we are talking. So everybody uses language to talk to each other, and we understand each other pretty well. So but the way we are talking is so singular. It's like an identity signature. And that's why we are talking about, and we are interesting about this subject, because we are all so different and the same time. Yeah, that's it. I don't tell you much more about the piece, because you will discover. But this is about something that has to do with a primal approach to being into the world. This is what language is, and this is what music is.
And also like exploring like the similarities, right? Like when you say something, or when you interact with the piece, and then it takes the saying that you left there apart, and then you're able to identify these different kinds of like similarities to other things that maybe sound familiar. So there is like in this one information that you leave with the piece, there is more to discover. So there is also the pluriversal layer there, if you wanna see it like that. Thomas, how was that for you, the pluriversal?
I think from the robot's perspective, you can see, which you will see later, it can be perceived on two levels. One from because in the work, the robot delivers a philosophical monologue, which has this sort of ambiguous background. It could be humanity's last message, like a warning, or it could be a message from an artificial intelligence trying to manipulate humanity. So already there, it's some sort of pluralism. It's destabilizing what the ethical concerns which the robot is addressing. And then, of course, the pluriverse of how to perceive that message. So yeah, I think it's sort of resonance with the, yeah.
Nice.
The work.
Thank you so much. Wei, what do you think about the pluriverse?
Questions. I think like everyone, you guys like all presented in a really like complex way that like I can never do. So I don't know. It's just, I think to me, I'm still trying to digest the theme and the title here. It's really complex. I don't feel like I would have an answer to it for myself at this point. But in a way that I feel that it has this optimistic tendency attached to this term, which is interesting. And future with an S is a great term that I haven't been able to see that before, like in any context, which is good. So I don't know, just these two terms like allows me to think a lot more about how I should or I could perceive future. So I still don't know the answer yet, but I think it gives like a really great possibilities on that.
What I also like what I really like about your work in this particular context, also because your film is addressing CGI. It is addressing the tragedy of an actor encountering an identity, a crisis of identity, and exploring different like nuances in that spectrum. And what I really like about that in this context of like the pluriversal futures is like this question about what is my identity? How can I make that a more stable entity when I navigate the uncertainty outside of me? How can I find more certainty inside me through allowing to exploring different aspects of my identity? And that's why I was like really happy that this part is also there. So it's not only about very confusing about the multiple possibilities that the future has to offer, but also finding stability and calmness and orientation in oneself. And that's what I really liked about the journey that you offer with your film, because there are multiple pluriversal options for that character and the stories that they encounter there. Yes.
Really appreciate that.
Thank you. Any questions? We have a bit time left. I also have more questions, but Jonathan, you promised me to ask a question. Thank you. I'm just calling you out. I'm sorry. But we had such a good conversation yesterday. I was like, you should ask it tomorrow. So I'm forcing you.
I'm just curious about the media art itself, because it's been developed for, as you say, starting from 1979. So it's been like 40-something years. Because I noticed in recent years a lot of discussions on the topic like AI or something like that. Like, what do you and other artists envision the development of media art in the future? Maybe in 10 years, 20 years time. What sort of topic that it will be dealing with in the future? Because I think for our students, when they are into the media art, some of them, they might be interested in working on that. So that would be great for them to know the trend or the future of this genre, some sort of thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. What do you think? It's a hard one, I know. But maybe more also from this, like, what excites you when you think about your own project in 10 or 15 or 20 years? Like, still not easier, right?
It's really a difficult question because I'm not a visionary. I don't see in the future, and it's quite difficult to know now or to feel something about our future. I'm sure we're not so concerned about technology in our way to work. We just look to find solution, and we look for a solution to embrace and the emotional pulse that we have in our work. So we use technology as a tool and not as a goal, as Gael said. So I feel that for sure we have plenty of solutions that are coming. I'm not sure that AI will give us that solutions, but I'm sure there will be much more possibilities in the future. But I'm sure of that, but I don't know what and when.
Yeah, definitely agree. I think one way we're going to work is to see new possibilities, how we work, what we can achieve. But I think you have the main goal is what the audience will feel. What is the message in the end in the art? Maybe we can do it in different ways, but we still have to have this kind of message, kind of approach to the artwork. Thank you.
Anything you want to add? Wai? Oh, good. Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I really don't have the answer to that yet. I think, which is good because I never actually thought of that questions before, and I think it's better not having that answer now for me, in order to allow myself to be freely exploring, along with like all this technological development. Because every changes we're experiencing right now, every single month, the changes could be really rapid compared to like last couple of years. So I feel like I maybe it's better not knowing than knowing. To me, I feel so. Yeah.
And for us in our studio, when we plan something about the next projects, it doesn't arrive as we planned, because then we lost the curiosity or we want to do something else, and so it's difficult to speak about the future, as if we think too much about this, then it's not happen like we think it.
And maybe also to think about it, right? Like, because it can be very overwhelming if you see all these like changes, and you may wonder, where should I even start, right? Like, it can be very, very overwhelming. So coming into a mode where you bring things to life, really like thinking about a project rather than I have to have all the skills first and then go into the making. Think about what you need to make that particular thing happen. Because it is overwhelming otherwise to get even like started. And through that process, one can explore what is actually possible and put these like curiosities on the side and explore them through other projects. In general, what I really like about all your work, because you can also see the fact, right, like the fact that you worked on your project for so long, you paused, you looked about like new possibilities that new technologies allowed you, and then boom, a new version was here and it won the Media Arts Prize, right? Like, so sometimes things need a break, sometimes things need to sink in, and that is also an option that needs to be taken seriously. And one thing that from an organizational point of view that I can say is like, the technology itself is not a fascinating thing, right? Like, just to use all the possibilities that you have doesn't make your work good. That's a very tricky part, because sometimes we get so seduced by the multiple possibilities that the technologies offer, they don't make the story and the experience good. So we really need to think about what is the essence of what I want to convey, and what are the tools that I need for that, and not just using all the tools just because I can. So these are the things that we can definitely observe also from our organizational point of view. I got a sign already that the time is over. However, I would love to give a short little wrap-up of things that you would want to give the students and experience for the exhibition for your work. Just a short little final note.
About the exhibition? Just there.
Don't be shy, because our installation is interactive, so it needs a sound to exist. So please make a sound.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Marshall McLuhan in the 60s. He said something like, first we create the media, and then the media creates us. And I think the robot is sort of touching into that topic implicitly.
Mm-hmm. Ah, I see. Yes? Something you would like to add?
Yeah, be open-minded when you go in, actually, and think when you go out.
Anything you would want to add, Wei?
I think we should better end on that. That's the good one. To wrap it up.
So, thank you so much for thinking along with us until now. Thank you to VTC. Thank you to HKDI. Thank you to the incredible team that was enabling this project on so many fascinating levels. I haven't had such a great production in a very, very long time, and it's indeed so special. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Enjoy the exhibition. Thank you.
Thank you for the insightful sharing. We would also like to extend our gratitude to the Ars Electronica team, the curators, and all the artists. Thank you.
Before we conclude today's sharing session, the originally scheduled opening ceremony for the Pluriversal Futures Ars Electronica exhibition in collaboration with HKDI has been cancelled due to the tragic typhoon blast. On behalf of the HKDI community, we extend our heartfelt care and deepest sympathy to all those affected.
The exhibition is open from today, 28th of November 2025, until 6th of April 2026. We sincerely invite you to visit our exhibitions at HKDI Gallery. Thank you again for your presence and support today. Good night.